NA match day number 12 is upon us, and it is just about time to get into this awesome game flip pre-show that we have prepared for you. It's going to be a burner of a day, and with that, you want to make sure you bring your popcorn. You want to bring all your candy, and make sure you don't forget about your tacos. That's right, we're also going to talk a little bit about SK Gaming and Taco's departure as of today. With that, let's go ahead and get right into this thing.
Welcome to the Game Flip Pre-Show.
Be a boss, buy and sell on GameFlip.com, or if you want a chance at a $10,000 giveaway, head over to GameFlip.com/ESL. And my goodness, that is the only way. I think the coffee kicked in right there, boys.
Sounds like it.
God, I was just so amped and anxious for this one because there's a little bit to talk about today. There's quite a bit happening around the community. And with that, I want to go ahead and actually take this time to introduce some of the guys that are going to be breaking it down for me, with me, however you want to put that. We've got Vendetta, we have Pimp. Guys, you've had a long day. We let EU borrow you. Now, this is a southerner in me, don't worry about it. But anyway, you're back now with us, where you belong. How are you feeling? Are you up to the task today?
It's good to be back home where I belong.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we tested the waters, see if the grass is actually greener on the other side. Came to the realization that it's definitely not.
European Counter-Strike sucks.
Yeah, NA is where it's at. So happy to be back home.
Speaking of NA, quite the adjustment. We're just going to go ahead and start with the hot topic around the entirety of the league. And I think the one way to do that would be Taco on his way out of SK Gaming. This would signify the end of an era. And, for all it's worth, guys, I believe we have a tweet from Taco himself. And, I can kind of go on record here to read some of it, of course. I leave today, I'm going to quote.
Can you do like slam poetry style?
I got the whole thing right here. All right, I got it all printed out. I got every page of it. Taco, we got you, bud. I'm going to go ahead and quote the part that really memorable to me, I suppose. I leave today, leaving my mark and legacy in between these 27 months. 13 trophies, 21 finals, and 10 semi-final appearances. That is a hell of a resume. And Taco, you are the man for everything you've done within that SK Gaming lineup.
All I'm getting there is that he lost 8 finals.
Oh,
all right.
God. Well, with that said, that was the last time anyone ever heard from him. No, but this is a significant roster adjustment. Of course, SK Gaming, a team that has been at the top for a long time now.
Yeah, no, I mean, pretty much since 2015, they've been a household name. They've been pretty much the team to beat, and Taco's been an integral part of that ever since they got going. It's obviously they have their reasons as to why they've decided to split. Obviously, from the statement that Taco put out, he seems pretty content with where he's at in life, obviously. And given the track record that they've had in SK, you can't really look back at it and be disappointed with what you achieved, because it is like you said, it's remarkable how they're able to have that kind of consistency for that long of a time.
And here's the real kicker, right before we get into today's schedule, of course. I leave with no regrets, no anger, and no remorse. I leave leaving the doors open.
I mean,
which is beautiful.
That's coming from a true champion, right? That's coming from a guy who won those 13 trophies, did lose 8 finals, but you can only expect that from a guy like him. The third thing about this is Taco is probably one of the guys that redefined the whole support role. He really embraced that and really educated us as experts and as a community. What is it he does for a guy like Coldzera? How was he able to manage to pull Coldzera up to a level where he is today? And that's the sad part about this one, because Coldzera is also losing not only a great teammate, but also a good friend in that sense.
Well, I've had pretty good times around the lands and the events with Taco, so I'm sure it won't be long before we see him there. But we won't be seeing him tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for the matches of the evening. Renegades and OpTic to kick us off, followed by a little bit of Complexity and Cloud9 action. Then over on the secondary stream, it's going to be Rogue and Liquid with Ghost and Energy to round it out over there. But, of course, we're on the mainstream. We're not the B squad. We are the A squad, boys.
The A team.
A team. I mean, you guys are pretty versatile. I'm going to have to take the hat that I'm not wearing off for you and say that you've been busting your ass all day. And for that, good job.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And then that's the most nicest you're gonna get out of me ever. Let's take a look at the standings, though. Which one of you fine gentlemen want to walk me through North American standings?
I mean, I can do it for you if you want to. NRG Esports, probably the surprise of the season. Can't be argued about that.
Definitely
They're currently 9-1, which is hella impressive. You know, Liquid up there, we expected that. And LG up there as well, have played a lot of matches, still have 8-6. That's a decent record, still in the loop for playoffs. But Rogue, quite surprisingly, sitting fourth right now. A team we have been praising for playing to avoid relegation. And it seems like they've done the jobs. No, I don't want to be careful. But it seems like they've done the job perfectly fine. And again, today facing Liquid. In the bottom, we saw Cloud9, we saw SK. And we're going to see one of them today, you know, hopefully taking a revenge and climbing a little bit up the ladder, because they need so if they want to go to the World Finals later on this year.
To kick things off, though, it will be the Renegades and OpTic. That is the first matchup of the night. Again, we do have 2 maps between them, and I do believe we can actually begin our focus here on the Renegades. Plenty to talk about within this lineup. They have seen a little bit of an adjustment, have found some success. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup itself. JKS, Jacob. Somebody correct me on that one. I get destroyed on Twitter for this one regularly.
Just go with Jacob.
Yeah. Jacob, JKS, Justillo, Azur, and of course Nifty, the IGL op god over there, I think is. Look, the guy has insane natural reaction times for video games. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty nutty guy, and he's been doing well for himself as of late. Honestly, most people on Renegades have had their time in the spotlight and actually been doing pretty well, much better than I anticipated after seeing the departure of NAF going to Liquid. They've been doing pretty good job of holding things together. And it's still early days. They haven't played that many matches so far in Pro League. I think they're up to 8. But you know, still a lot for them to keep working on. But I'm feeling really positive about where Renegades are at right now.
I were feeling positive about Renegades, but as we've seen lately, I think they're coming out of this honeymoon period. They brought in Jacob instead of Nefly, gave them some new motivation, and gave them a window of opportunity to show that they were still able to produce results without Nefly, who arguably were the by far best player in that lineup when he was on it. So they did well in the beginning, but as of lately, we see them lost 4 games in a row. Now, the 2 games they won most recently is against G United, 16-13 and 19-17, against a team they should be running over. So it's not looking too good for Renegades as in this moment. And that's why it's going to be interesting to see how well they're going to fare up against OpTic today.
Yeah, well, a guy that is no stranger to looking good would be
me.
Mr. Well, aside from any of the 3 of us, it's going to be an individual by the name of Justin Savage, or JKS for short. Let's go ahead and see what he has to say about this.
Individually, myself, I'd say that I'm getting back to the form I want to be in. I'm actually playing a lot of Counter-Strike in the last month or so just to get back to where I was, because I didn't feel like I was playing very well in the last few months with NAF on the team. So with Jacob, it's been kind of a refreshment, I guess. I'd say a lot of people were actually surprised with picking him up, just because he hasn't played in quite a while at top level. Myself, Carlo and Aaron, the Australians in the team, I'd say that we're all quite upbeat and happy, and I think that's why Jacob fits really well into the team, along with Noah. We haven't had a lot of time to practice with him and implement some new stuff, so right now we're going off some of our old stuff and fitting him in as we go. So far we're just kind of playing it tournament by tournament, but yeah, of course if he plays really well and he keeps it up, then yeah, we would obviously look at him to be a permanent 5th in the team. Nifty and the coach looks after the rest of us. He's really good at keeping everyone kind of in that positive vibe, just so that before we go into a tournament, everyone's got their head straight and then we can all perform at our best. I think we all just trust in him because he's such a really good player and he actually wants to do that role. So that puts a lot more trust in him for the rest of the team, like someone who actually wants to do that role, which is probably the hardest role on the team. And at the same time, he's also our AWPer, so he's kind of similar to Fallen from SK, I'd say. We do watch a lot of Australian Counter-Strike when we're at home when we have free time. And I'd say that, yeah, the level is definitely getting higher, and I hope it continues to get higher because it's awesome to see other Australian teams at overseas tournaments. I hope that we don't face each other just so that we both can go as far as we could in the tournament. Coming off Star Series, we actually had a good placement there, so I'd say that we actually do have quite a lot of confidence in ourselves at this tournament. The main goal is obviously to make it out of groups, but with Jake and the team, we're constantly improving and constantly trying to add new stuff. I think that we're just taking each tournament to kind of boost our level in-game and our chemistry together, one tournament at a time. But I'm very ready to play. I'm really excited to play versus Australis first round, and hopefully we do good and we can make it onto the stage.
Now, the Renegades, having replaced Nafly, left a pretty big void within that lineup, but they are trying to find that rhythm that's just really going to excel them past where they kind of find themselves within this North American region.
Yeah, no, they're definitely making their strides towards it, and I guess still jury is out on how good of a team they are going to be over a longer period of time. But it's been pretty all right for now, I'd say. And again, you were having doubts, in terms of recent form. I will say that we do have to mention the fact that they did go up against both Energy and Liquid, which again are sitting at the top of the standings. So that could also be part of it. I'm not sure how much stock I want to put into the fact that they lost to those teams. But today's going to be a pretty big test for them in that sense. OpTic are vying for that top 6 spot as well.
Now, you say OpTic Gaming, and that brings me to my next point. That is the team that Renegades is going to be stacked up against tonight. OpTic Gaming, I believe we can take a look at their lineup here and see exactly who it is that the Renegades have on the palette tonight. Walk me through this lineup very briefly, Pim.
I mean, we got a Dane called Config, then we got another Dane called Gate, then we got a Canadian guy called Stanislav, doesn't really matter in this sense, and then we got another Dane, Cajun B, finishing up with the same. So this is technically what I would classify as being a Danish team trapped in NA right now. And it is a team with a lot of skill sets. It is a team with a lot of individual strong characters, both in and out the game. Both playing-wise, but also personality-wise, and that's why we have so many doubts in regard to how well is OpTic gonna do in this season, how well is this lineup gonna do in a whole, in this season of Counter-Strike. That said, though, like we talked about it, Config probably the biggest signing to this NA League this season. KGB is one hell of an experienced player. Been playing in Australia, been playing in North, been winning championship, been at 7, 8 majors or something like that. These are guys that are used to play on a very, very high level, and now they're in NA fighting in the Pro League, and all of a sudden in a situation where they're not even sure whether they're gonna make playoff for a tournament like ESL Pro League Finals, which normally used to be their bread and butter.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I guess we say that it's not necessarily sure, but they have started out the season well in terms of actual results. They're sitting at 7-3 right now, but I think the level of play that we've seen out of them hasn't necessarily built a lot of confidence for us watching them, because it's been everything from very, very good to very, very bad. They haven't found that sweet middle ground that they can kind of get on cruise control on and just power through the season, get ready for the finals, and focus on what really matters to them, right? And for players like that, it's obviously the big stage.
Well, the big stage tonight, at least for the first map, will be Mirage. That's where we're going to see these two teams battle. The digital playground is set, and, well, I guess within these next couple of seconds, I need to know from you guys, very briefly, very concise and to the point, who will be taking away Mirage?
I think Config is going to be too much to handle for Renegades. I also think Gate has been showing us some very promising signs on the 8 bombs out of Mirage, especially on the CT side. So I think it's going to be too much skill for Renegades to go up against. They're not in the best period right now. They had some rough results, arguably against good teams, but still, OpTic just has too much individual power to not win this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning the same way. I think OpTic is going to be one step above Renegades this time. They've had enough time now, I think, to where we can start to see what their true form is going to be like, and Renegades on there and have been dipping a little bit as of late.
Well, only time will tell, and of course, with this map, that will be the indicator. Let's go ahead and just shuffle right on over here. Lauren, Pansy, Scott, and Harold. What's up, Harold? Let's get Mirage underway. You guys can take it from here. I'm completely okay with that.
Have fun, Bunny.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It's really nice to go to NACS and actually get basically EU players coming in. So
It's true.
I appreciate that a lot, particularly it's going to be a quick game. No, I don't know.
Well, look, check this out. For the time being, if you were to, do one of these things where you took all of these EU players and you put them in NA, eventually, the NA players will shine just even brighter. I think that's how it works.
Is that the takeaway?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, right? Like, no, I mean, right now, some of the best teams, the most consistent teams are North American.
It's true.
As much as we can do the whole EU-CS thing, at the moment, you've got major winners, North American, you've got the longest standing lineups, North American. As much as there may be banter, it doesn't really matter. We're into this one. It will be Mirage. Renegades, they've got some European talent coming through as well, I guess, and they're not exactly North American either. So it's a fun balance, and Renegades, well, it feels as though maybe OpTic have an idea as to what's coming their way. 2 players already up there. You've got Cajun B and Gade. We can see what Gade can do, but Cajun B is already kind of plucking heads off shoulders. He's pretty comfy in this one. Not being challenged out. Apparently, he's not been seen. So, I mean, he gets away with murder, but Azza does get 2 kills in the end, cleans out the site. But by this point, OpTic already quick on the rotate, going to make it tricky. But Config, the man that Pimp obviously pointed out, kind of too hot to handle sometimes. Already 1 kill so far, but he needs 2 more.
Yeah, and he doesn't get any of them. So Renegades, they're going to be able to find themselves the pistol around there. Fantastic stuff from Azza. And kind of thankful I finally got my monitor turned on. Took me a while to figure that out, but
We're proud of you.
yeah, I
on
know.
buttons are tricky to find sometimes.
They really are. They're
Hide them in the weirdest places.
I mean, it had a big label on it. I really am bad at finding things, but
just generally in life, I'm just lost, you know.
I am lost, you know, Lauren. I like to think all of us are, just a little bit. But, you know, I tell you who's looking just as lost right now. Cajun B, going to get caught out over there on short. Makes his way up into the ladder. He is still alive for the time being. And Renegades, they're going to get a good bit of control over here in mid, almost entirely for free. They've also got JKS over in Palace, waiting to see if any aggression comes out. OpTic look like they're pretty focused, though, and up for the challenge here over in mid.
Yeah, why not? This should be a fun game. You know, Harry, how's it been working with Moses? We can have a chat. They're taking their time. They're going to go back to an A default. So, talk to me. How's Jason been treating you?
He is a bit of a prince. Is Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's been very supportive. He's a proper daddy. You know,
you call him daddy as well?
Yeah, in every sense of the word. I do.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, no, he's been great. You know, I've really been letting his play-by-play shine through.
You know, sometimes when I'm tired, I let Henry G just do play-by-play.
I mean, I haven't even been tired. I've been raring to go, but Jason, he just loves it. He loves some NACS.
Loves a bit of CS. But as I said, A default, falling back to get that mid control, peel the players off of A. OpTic obviously going towards your connectors and such, responding accordingly. You can see the fallback here. Now, that's a shot from Config you want to remember. Takes off Jacob's head and now looks for a little bit more. But again, bomb planted, no kits on the CT side. This has to be quick. It has to be deadly. I don't know how much they're going to get. Decent off-spawn positions. Not going to be able to kind of pressure the back from ramp either for the CTs. Config, you can see he's confident as well. Like, he's up for a fight here, willing to take a lot of risks. But this looks like a bit of a done deal, as you will be seeing the last couple of OpTic players hopefully going down. There's a couple of moments get a little bit nerve-wracking, but 2 players remaining. Hopefully they can recover the other AK. Is there another AK up? There is. JKS gets hold of that, so they're all good to go. But to be honest, it's Azza and Nifty. They are your MVPs so far. They have 5 kills apiece, so they have destroyed everyone on OpTic.
Yeah, they're the only ones who have gotten kills thus far. It was Azza with a 4K in the pistol, and now Nifty kind of stepping up as well, showing he can shine just as bright. And Renegades, they found themselves this second round. Now for OpTic, it's just a couple of PT50s invested. It's not really expecting too much from them here. They've stacked over towards B, and you don't imagine Renegades are just going to go wandering blindly in towards one of these bomb sites.
See, Harry, I feel you're still trying to cast this very seriously. I feel
Yeah,
there's
you know,
a serious manner to you. You know?
I have a bit of a serious mantra.
I feel like you haven't lost your mind like the rest of us just yet.
No, not yet. Well, you know, I mean, sometimes you get tested, but no, I think I'm pretty sane right now.
Ooh, okay. So we'll see how long that lasts. As you know, if there's any dedicated viewers out there, hello, for one, and I'm sorry you've had to deal with me essentially for the entire day. So I mean, it's been a long day here. So Harry will be carrying me towards the end of this show, like he does Jason anyway. So I mean, that's not much of a difference. Jason's not watching the show. Let's be honest. He's
not. He's asleep.
Traveling somewhere. He's up to something. But for now, it's free farm time is what this round is. There's PT50s upgraded to, and if it's not the CZ, it won't win you rounds. We all know that the CZ is the most OP gun in the game. It's essentially a rifle for very cheap. You know, you might as well not buy M4s or AKs if you have that opportunity. So overall, Harry, I'm impressed that your sanity has maintained and that you're serious casting these rounds. I like that about you.
Know,
I don't know if it's because you have a lack of faith in Renegades.
No,
or
I actually have,
you just get a bit excited about pistols.
I have ample faith in Renegades. Actually, too much faith in Renegades sometimes. Ooh, that was nice. But yeah, no, you know, they weren't any CZs, as you said, and that's normally why I give pistol rounds so much faith behind them. You know, being British as well, kind of instinctively root for the underdog, even in individual rounds. But now the buy comes in for OpTic, and they're no longer the underdogs. They've got themselves that AWP up on Shazam. And that's an interesting duel that we're going to see come in. Nifty versus Shazam. And I'm curious to see who actually is able to win that out. Now, he doesn't have the AWP over on Renegades. So they're just, they've gone for the bonus round, you know. They want to try and make some money. Gade and Config over here on ramp. They're going to win that first fight out. And actually, every single fight gets one out. Config going to find himself two. Gade answers back and gets the trade onto JKS. And suddenly, well, this round already looks like it could be over. Nifty 1v4. It does not look likely.
Now, really nice CT side aggression coming out between Gade and Config, both pushing towards ramp initially. Finding the players there, and Palace just got completely controlled. So really nicely done for them. Config can repurchase. The money's obviously not stable for the CT side, so keeping that round pretty clean is essential. This is Gade's aggression on ramp, and Config in the meantime focused towards Palace, keeping him safe as soon as they make contact. Really well played. And essentially, If you don't have that utility and everything else to fall back to, you want that bit of aggression. Now they have the really nice purchase. A little bit of a buffer behind it, but you want one more round if you're the CT side to get enough money kind of beside you. On the other side of things, Renegades, of course, Nifty can now afford the AWP, which is a fun factor, but then you've got Galils, you've got a slight lack of utility beyond that. Not too much, you've still got enough for, you know, maybe defaulting back to A after this, or, you know, after holding a default for a while. Obviously, bomb being in spawn kind of implies that. But obviously, you know, Jacob suffering down on the CZ, even though it is just a filthy gun. But Config's confident. This guy is looking for fights. He wants to get those guns away, wants to get the round on the board, kind of move on from that first initial 3, and he might just do that. He's got so much room to work with as well. This default becomes a little bit tricky when he's doing this sort of damage.
Yeah, Config is going to get away with it, and the man to try and trade this out is Jacob, but as he emerges from the... Okay, he does check for Cajun B, so that doesn't lead to anything. But yeah, that was very, very nice from Config. He actually just skipped past the crosshair of Ustillo. He was keeping an eye on that angle. Now Nifty's going to get found in the meantime. JKS goes down shortly after. Gate and Config, they're very strong on this A bomb site. These are kind of the two that we've seen in the past for OpTic step up here in the NA Pro League thus far. And well, quick as you like, it's all on Azza and Jacob once again. It's just, oh, I say once again, first time it's ever been these two.
Why are you lying to me already? This is not how we want to start out our casting relationship.
I know, it's not good.
It's only for one day, and you're already lying.
I'm already laying down the foundation of deceit.
Exactly.
That's an important part of any...
It reminds me of Jason, which is...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you can really tell that I've picked up some of his personality traits.
None of the good ones, because there's very few of them. Jacob towards B, there's still 2 players here, even if he does get past Stanislaw, which he can't actually do, as KGB was locking down short. It's another one on the board for the OpTic boys, and a clean one at that as well. They're sitting pretty nice at this point. A couple of reinvestments here and there, but you're going to start seeing that buffer build. Getting towards 5k, Shaz obviously pretty good, and this is the farming round, so even though Config does have to repurchase, he can go up to the SMG, get a bit of utility. What spawn does he have? Can we just go to Config real quick? Hit that 2 number? No. No.
No.
No. No.
It's not happening. You've been mugged off.
EU observers, listen to me. Rush, can you give him a nudge? Old Rush used to be an observer, he's now a producer. And this is what I wanted to see. See why Config's dead now against just Glocks. I mean, how does this happen? Bomb's going to be planted too. This is an absolute disaster of a round if you're OpTic. A brilliant pickup if you're Renegades. This is not what you expect. Azza in a great spot too. Finds Cajun B, makes the most of it. Even gets away alive. Now, where is that bomb planted? That's okay, not for Azza, but he's got the cross. 15 HP. I'm pretty sure they know where he is. So nade, smokes, it's all coming his way. 1 Molotov and a dream. He's going to try and time it right. The best of his ability. Off it goes. And I'm not sure if that's going to go far. Can we go to Stanislaw? No. Smoke goes up. Not a chance. Nice try, Azza. I like the theory, but of course Shazam's going to do that through smoke. Love to have seen what Config did then. Hopefully we can get the replay of that now. Nope. Oh, you're testing me, boys. But yeah, I'm not sure what he was up to. I don't know if he had a decent A spawn or a ramp spawn. Tried to just get a little bit greedy, build some cash up, which isn't a bad plan at all. It can really bode well going forward. It doesn't seem like he's scared to die, right? He's happy to get in their faces. Do what he wants to be that aggressive player. We already have him going down mid, so again, looking at him would be a great idea here. Smoke goes up. He already punishes that. Ustillo completely caught out, can back away. Molotov not quite perfect. Bit of a punish there, and already working with 4 for Renegades is a huge issue.
Yeah, they've gone man down. Okay, Config through not 1, but 2 smokes this time around. He doubles the challenge. Now, KGB is going to get burnt out. So they kind of regain some ground elsewhere down here towards lower tunnels. JKS on the ramp. There are 3 players inside of A. 2 actually pushing down into connector right now to try and challenge for mid. And they've had so much success here in Config. He's not done yet. He just keeps going back for more. He is relentless in his pursuit of frags here in mid. And well, this time he's going to get caught out, as it will be traded by Stan. And Nifty now to try and step up to the mark over here in mid. Now,
Gade and JKS, that's a fun one. Gade should... I don't know if JKS checks on it. He does, but Gade's a little too quick for that. But that could have been the huge chance, right? If, let's say, that kill goes the other way around, JKS lives, push up to CT, gets the kill, then you've got the A opportunity. But look at Stanislaw's positioning. Really cerebral play from him. Pushed up to the off angle in here. And Nifty might check on it, but he probably won't check that deep. And, you look for it in case, but you're not actually expecting a player to be there. So really nicely played from Stan. Very smart approach from him. And he's becoming the bank of this team, as is Shazam. Both sitting towards above 10k, so reinvestments galore, double AWPs, easy opportunity, and I like this double AWP aspect. You've got Cajun B there on the AWP, you've got Shazam as well, able to AWP as well. That's a really big combo. I think that's a nice one to look at. Renegades, however, The scoreline looks close. They did get the pistol, looked quite dominant. Well, not dominant. I think, you know, they had a good run for the next 2, but now they've decided to suffer into the gun rounds. This is where you want to see them starting to fight back, punish that CT economy, get them on the reset if you can. And Cage and B might be in for a bit of fun here. The flash, bit off-timed. He caught a little bit too much of that. Ucilo looking for his chance to strike through underpass, but we'll see if that bomb continues to go toward B, if it maybe falls off it. You do have a bit of a default coming out here. Maybe the T is trying to hope to punish any aggression. Cage and B watching the finest of angles, and that's all he needs. Information gathered. He can fall off this. He doesn't need to outstay his welcome. And everyone on Renegades is trying to basically get a bomb plant, get kills, get guns away. All of these are on the wish list right now.
Yeah, on the wish list. The only thing is I don't know, something about presence. And here's Config. He's going to shut down Azza in sandwich. Nifty falls at B, and that bomb's come rotating background over towards the A bomb site. It's JKS and Jacob. The double J boys, as they start to make their way up through ramp. Config is here, and he has been a real pain to try and deal with. He's going to go aggressive up towards Palace early on, and now just sits pretty in the corner. Has Shazam as well over in the jungle. They're going to be walking out. Config peeks into it. Actually, okay, CZ going to win that out on the back of Jacob. Now things get a bit interesting. They have to try and cross, and they bait the shot out from Shazam. Now JKS going to try and take that fight, and does end up paying for it with his life, leaving it now all on Jacob.
That's a brave fight he's going for.
Yeah, you've got to admire the balls on this man. He's got himself a deagle now. 1 versus 3. Of course, Jacob, the newest member of this Renegades roster, brought in to replace Naf, and well, he is going to fall. Shazam able to pick that up, and that's a 5th round for OpTic, but a bomb plant for Renegades isn't all too bad, considering they have a buy in the next round anyway, and a decent bit on the loss bonus. They're all looking pretty good in terms of the old money.
What have you done to your audio setup?
I don't know. It's just
He's
a mess.
having a mare over here.
Well, no, like it all started when one of the cables was tangled, so I've had to like kneel down at a really awkward angle the whole time.
I wish you guys could see this. Honestly, it brings me great joy, but
Yeah,
also, you know, very funny.
It's just
Anyway.
like, you know, neck pain and just the full 9 yards, really.
Well, speaking of pains in the neck, this could be Config all over again. Shadow's going to show in a second. He gets a spray. The flash wasn't bad, but the follow-up's so good. Azza gets completely destroyed. Jacob tries to make up for it, but it's almost too little too late. You're down to 2 players. You've got mid control, I guess. You have no play anywhere else, though. You need Nifty to get you out of this situation. We wanted to see this fight against Shaz. We want to see everything kind of, coming through. We need to see that now, Nifty. This guy is so talented, too. That's what I want to see. Shazam gets completely removed from the map. Any more chances you can build here? He has the bomb. Jacob isn't kind of playing off him just yet, but I'm wondering what he does here. You do have Stanislaw, again, pushing up behind him. Stan is like a super smart player at the moment. It feels he's in that right mentality. Cajun being a deep angle, though, that's going to be hard for Nifty to check on. It looks like he wants to, though. So I'm wondering how many more chances he can get. Once he gets to a 2v2, then you can see the teamwork kicking in. But Jacob looking to pressure, maybe make some noise, draw them over. And this does create the chance now for Nifty to actually get towards B.
Yeah, they've given him a little bit of ground. Stan has worked his way up short, and KGB just homing down the angle. Nifty has to check this, and KGB able to find it. So 6th round there for OpTic, and there is still money left for Renegades to invest. They've got that full loss bonus now kicking in, so they're feeling pretty good about that at least. And a timeout going to be called in. You imagine from Renegades, they've lost the last few rounds consecutively. They're feeling a bit demoralized, especially because, you know, it's not like they've been very close rounds. A lot of it's going to come on the back of heroics from Config over in mid. And he's been winning out every fight he's taken there.
Yeah, but if you can't shut down mid-aggression, that's basically what the discussion should be right now for Renegades. Like, you have to tame Config to get a normal game against OpTic, right? Like, that's as simple as it is. It's the same with any aggressive player or any team that depends on aggression. You've got to kind of tame them first, and then you get to play your normal matchup. Until that point, Renegades can't do what they want to because you're constantly going to be having these issues. Timeout is already on pause. It wasn't like a long one. No issues there. So Renegades, let's hope they can get back into it. 6-3 again, first 3 rounds for them off the back of the pistol. Haven't had that much to write home about beyond that, but this is another good chance for them. Nifty showed some potential to really kick things off, but initially it was him and Azza being the big heavy hitters. And on the other side, money still very good. Cajun B sitting on 10k after this repurchase, obviously. And we'll see what they go for here. Renegades, you better be ready for what they have to bring. Obviously, Config's not going to go aggressive this round. He switches things up a little bit. Not sure what he's up to, but that's beyond the point. He's not up middle is essentially it. So, again, Stan on the other side, over by the apartments, and there's switch here, right? So it seems that Stan and KGB, depending on how they feel about it or what they intend, switch it up. So Config, he may not be at the top of the middle, but he's going to be watching underpass. So much variety in this guy's play. You often credit that towards Orpers, the variety in style and approach. He's doing it as a rifler. Also freeing up KGB to play off short. Another interesting new look. So again, if you're expecting Config, you might not expect Cajun there. So Renegades down a man again, and such a big player too. Nifty was so good before.
Yeah, no, he definitely was, and he definitely is historically as well. So kind of playing this now with the man down, they've started to make their way over here towards A. They might just try their hand at a set piece to see if that can get them out of danger by just setting up these smokes and going in for the A hit. There is Gades here, and he's very proficient at locking down this site. I'd be worried about coming into contact with him. And then you have Shazam and CT. Teams as well have kind of taken to leaving that CT open, but now they've gone ahead and smoked it off, and that's Gade forced out by the molly. He has to smoke that off, so now they know that there's a man in sandwich as well. Gade's going to get forced out into the open. JKS picks up the first, but now Shazam emerging from the depths of CT.
Config, look at this guy. You may have expected Gade, but you don't expect a second man to be there.
No, yeah, you definitely know. Config stuck into the back, and he's going to go peeking on into it. Finds the first to Jacob. Wants to try and get more, but okay, going to be silenced by JKS. 2-on-2. And a lengthy rotation from Stan. He's a very long way away, leaving KGB to try and pick something up here early.
You still his position is vital in this, because he can be the biggest pain in the ass for OpTic trying to come back into it. JKS just needs to keep their attention, which is what he's doing, swinging out, taking fights. You can see they're trying to focus down the player in CT, which they're doing quite well at, because he's going to be the one to stop that defuse, make it a huge pain. Stan is being smart. You know that he was trying to play that right, but it's a very hard crossfire to try and get around. So in the end, we finally see Renegades fighting back here.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Renegades get around where not one of them has to get a 4K. Because that was another 4K in from JKS in that round. So it's been fantastic individual performances from them to actually make it happen. And they managed to get this as a fourth, but now they are poised for that reset. That's kind of the dangerous factor now if you are Renegades. They are balancing on a knife's edge in this round. And, well, Config, he's been known as kind of the point man over in mid. This time he's gone back to his roots, rejoined up with his Danish brethren here inside the A-bomb site. And he's going to be focusing his aggression over on ramp.
And I like this approach from Renegades, slowing down the pace a little. They need to be very cautious of where that aggression will come from. We've seen middle, we've seen underpass, and obviously ramp as well. So plenty of opportune moments. They have managed to slowly dwindle down that economy that was building for the CT side, so that's very good news. Shaz looking for a new angle, like holding the very passive side of the smoke, so if they push up short, he'll be the one to receive that, but that's a lot of pressure on Shazam to try and deal with middle. He's actually going to back away from that a little bit from window. There's too much coming in there. And actually, Renegades have one out now for middle control, finally, cleanly. But that's not the be-all and end-all, because we've seen that, one, Stanislaw is very good at taking that apartments control late game. We've seen that ramp aggression from Config has also been excellent. Him being able to push up here means that they can call over the information to the B players, right? So you've got Cajun B, you've got Stanislaw all preparing themselves, so they kind of know what's coming their way. Shazam can get over soon. Now all the smokes are being put up. Shorts under pressure. They're too close, though. Cajun B sees one, but no information given. Excellent flash from Stanislaw. Allows for one, but by this point, Renegades are already in the door. They're already getting the bomb planted.
Yeah, 3-on-3 in the retake, and suddenly that push from Config and Gade has become more of a curse than a blessing. They've had to go for very lengthy rotations here. And while Shazam, he's posted up already, Gade's going to try and sneak down through short and Nifty. He has to be very careful. Timing's going to be everything here, and it's Config to win that out. Now Gade wrapping into apartments. Jacob's on 3. JK's going to finish off one more. Does the trend continue? 4Ks to get round wins for Renegades as Jacob forces Config away. And there we go. The curse has yet to be broken. 4K from Jacob locks in a 5th round for the Renegades. And just like that, they've actually been able to break the OpTic economy finally. I mean, it was pretty built up, if you recall. I think Renegades lost, what, like 4 or 3 rounds in a row?
2 players for OpTic were over 10K for a while. But I'm surprised that caught OpTic off. They had the ramp information. They'd kind of been knocked off from middle, though, so I guess that was the problem. But no one considered short. You had Cajun B, you had Stanislaw playing those apartments, but by the time they were up short, they were just outnumbered, overwhelmed. It was very tough to watch. But it looks like Renegades have got themselves in a good spot now, right? This should be where they kind of tear back the rounds, punish OpTic's very poor economy. However, we'll see if that's the case. The amount of rounds we see going the other way, is obscene. But for now, I like the purchase OpTic have gone for. Very, very light investment. You're not overdoing things, being smart, being cautious, being frugal in approach. Stack towards ramp as well. The Danes getting creative. And the others on the other side being Cajun B, obviously, and Stanislaw still. And really, Renegades leaving this quite late. It worries me when teams leave it this late in rounds, but honestly, when you've got utility, you've got Molotovs, you shouldn't be taking risks. It's if this stack maybe pays off, then you're in a little bit of a bother.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, if there were two players I wouldn't want to be running into, even on an eco, it is going to be Config and Gade. They're very, very strong over here towards A, and they've got that tower by the ramp set up. He still is the first man in it. Yeah, they go in with the pre-fire, and just like that, they've knocked the tower down. That will beat Shazam, Cajun B, and Stan left here, and they're going to start to just walk into the slaughter. Jacob's onto a second. And just Cajun B and Stan left. I'd love to take something away from Renegades, but it doesn't look like that's going to present itself anytime soon. So they're just going to hang around here in the window room. Jacob in with the third. If he gets another 4K and this just weird trend of 4Ks every round that Renegades win continues, I'm going to, I don't know. I know I'm going to do it. It's weird. You know.
Here You're going to be okay.
Here's Cajun B, and he's got you still about to come his way. Now, he still hasn't really been having the game of his life. He's someone who, you know, I'd kind of say he's probably the most inconsistent players in this Renegades roster. And thus far in this game, he hasn't been having the best time of it. But he will pad his stats that much more there by dropping Cajun B. Just like that, 6-6. It's all tied up. And now this buy comes back in for OpTic. And, you know, Lauren, you kind of painted a picture. You kind of said, you know, you've been here a long time. You might be feeling a bit tired. But you seem very sprightly. Yeah, it's probably all I don't know if you drink coffee. I mean, you seem like you do.
I'm a caffeine fan.
Yeah, you seem like you're a caffeine fan.
Yeah, honestly, producer Rush. If you guys at home know who he is, you probably don't, of course. Not big Arma 3 Life fans, but anyway, that aside, he brought me a nice iced coffee today at midnight. So I mean, he's done well on that front.
He has done good.
Yeah, he's coming with the clutch play.
Yeah,
and speaking of clutch plays, JKS besting Gade, holding that push up towards Palace was pretty big. And actually winning that fight, that would have been huge information gathered for OpTic and a real nuisance to the rest of Renegades. But him winning that now is a massive victory. It might be Config to dismantle everything just because it's Config, but in theory, this is a huge step for Renegades.
Yeah, he's going to be holding close. He has no support from anyone else in OpTic. No one is nearby to trade. The nearest man, the one who can get there fast, is Cajun B. And even then, he's all the way over in window. Going to start to rotate around now into the jungle. So the smokes fall in, and it is just Config, the point man. The one to try and slow down the coming onslaught of Renegades. And he's able to find Azza. Gonna go back in for more. Config's not done yet. A second. Wants to make it the hat-trick, but it will get taken away from it. It's all onto Nifty. 1v2. The bomb's out in the open. He has time to play with. Shazam locking it down from jungle. It's going to be the clash of the AWPers here if Nifty wants to keep pressing forward, which he will. Stan lies in wait down bottom of connector. Nifty up on Tetris, but he's not looking to play games right now as he crosses into the site. And OpTic not peeking into this, giving him some room to work with. Only has 10 seconds, so he really has to start to speed this up a little bit now. He's going to go out for the plant in the smoke, and Shazam finds it just before the smoke plumes. Just like that, OpTic will be in with their 7th round currently. It's been a massive performance from Config and Cajun B. Config sort of, you know, one of the names expecting. Cajun, he has definitely had his moments. He's having one of them right now. Renegades, though, they get a bye together into this round. Will be the last of the half for them, though, if they lose it. Ooh, some nice hops from Nifty. Means he's there very early, and Config is not ready for that.
No, it's not. 7-6, obviously. Good start for the Renegade side. Nice to get the entry kill there, and especially onto Config. Like that's a nice scalp to claim. However, beyond that, it's what the Renegades do with this now. They have the advantage. Where are you going to take it? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to exploit this? Currently, they're leaning towards the 3 players-ish. If they go towards middle, you still have Cajun B fighting this. Does have the AWP up. A little bit cautious of Palace, but mostly the 3 players in middle are your biggest threat right now. They're the ones who are going to take that bomb somewhere, and you need to defend that. But it is Jacob leading the fray. Looking around. Doesn't really see much as a testing B. That's a Poor choice he made there, going right into the loving arms and eyes of Shazam. So, I mean, it's not ideal, but this is a very scrappy round. It's just these individual battles kind of kicking off. Now, Nifty's doing wonders, but Shazam's still on the site. The bomb's going towards A, so these two players on B are kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Now, Stan, you know, going to start to make his way back in from B, 1v2, and yeah, not terrible odds, all things considered. The only issue is there's no money for OpTic, so that reset's looming. It's just saving the 1 AK worth it. He's going to stick around a little bit longer, but if he doesn't find anything, you imagine you see that save call come in. Now, Nifty up in the Palace. Ustillo, the one man inside the site, and they're set up perfectly just to play a passive game here. Stan is really going to have to work if he wants these 2 kills, and yeah, with not much time left, he's going to go running in. Thinks maybe they've abandoned or gone a little too far away, and they have not. 7-7, all tied up. Last run of the half, and OpTic will be heading into it with a reset economy. Those are the hops, of course, from Nifty. And he went on a bit of a tear in this round. 3 kills for him there. And now Renegades poised to finish out the half with a round advantage.
Where's the HUD?
You know, still big on this replay. We really want to stick
Where
with
is
Nifty.
the HUD? Like, I know I'm tired, but this scares me.
That's the thing. I don't even.
Deep breaths.
I think this is still the replay, Lauren. I think we're still in. You know, we're still
Just
deep
watching.
in the matrix.
Is this it? Oh,
There we go.
help!
We love Nifty here at Pro League.
I can't deal with this today. Like, I'm on the verge of a breakdown. No, I'm absolutely fine. And what could be very fine right now would be a nice big entry kill towards Connector. At least open up middle. They already have config down, but I don't know if it's just a replay from last round. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to tell. And it seems hard to tell for Stan Snor as he's completely blind, just wandering around on short like a lost kitten. And Nifty. Oh, I don't want to make a sort of analogy about him being mean to kittens. That's not a good thing. I mean, but after a bit of a weary mid-game for Renegades, they started off things with the first 3 rounds, and it was you know, the OpTic turn of config just having his way with them. Renegades came right back into it.
Yeah, it felt like, you know, the very aggressive config that was a cause a lot of success from OpTic kind of then became a problem towards the end. He was very frequently the first man down on those aggressive tears, and that's sort of, you know, the thing is, I think, you know, he does rely a lot on making these like insane aggressive plays, and if those kind of stop working out for him, then he can maybe even become a bit of a liability in that regard, but, you know, still top of the board.
Liability?
Well, you know, no.
Do you just bank on the fact that they're not going to listen to this broadcast? Is that it? You get a little spicy. You're like,
see,
ooh.
config actually...
He's a flamer. I wouldn't...
He is, but he actually sent me a very, very nice message back in the day when I first started. You know, I've seen the loving side of config. It's definitely there.
I don't know, like on Twitter, he's a nice little memer these days. Like,
I know
he's
he
a
is. He
spicy
has
boy.
become a meme star.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that. But Jacob there, just having Nifty steal a lot of his kills, apparently. The ADR indifference there is always fun. But yeah, good performance from Config, obviously. Even if he does become a liability, according to Harry. I don't agree, by the way, Config. I think you're great. Denmark's awesome, dude. Cool.
That's pandering, that is.
I know, dude. I'm right there. But no, yeah, no, he had a big game. ADR impact is great. He's been dropped out of the P250 off of Stan, who's gone for the utility. And I like seeing the P250 being picked up because it can compete with the USPS at the same range. So he actually outdoes Nifty in window. And it kind of brings a bit of a difference here, and I love seeing that. Now, this is a nice hit. The smoke allows him to kind of waterfall out towards site, play towards a plant. JPS seems unscathed or worried. Maybe he should have been. KGB gets there pretty quickly, and now we're down to 2, playing this back in for Renegades.
Yeah, and Config, he's holding the push in from Connector. Ustillo and Az are going to be coming his way. Okay, Config's going to go down at the first hurdle. Ustillo does a check close, but never mind, mid-air. Gonna be able to find KGB now. It's a 2-on-2, and things get very interesting here. They've been given away back into this round. Shazam and Stan are left alive, and they're going to go peeking into Stan. They have to find us. Ustillo will. Now it's Shazam, 1v2. Does manage to get the first, but Ustillo, a man who was silent early on, steps up. There's no time, however. No kit.
You were so into that. I was like, oh, I believe.
I figured there was a kit somewhere, Lauren, but there just wasn't, you know.
No, there's only sadness, but we saw the 4K. I know that you see 4K by any of the Renegades players' names, you're like, it's a round win.
Yeah, I mean...
You know, first half dictated as such.
I was feeling happy as well. Yeah, exactly, right? It's like the trend continues, the curse. But, you know, Ustillo especially, because he was pretty quiet in that first half. It was good to see. I mean, that shot there was very nice. I was worried. Just not checking the left corner. I was like, great, Ustillo's dead. And that's it. The round's over. But no, he gets back into control of things. Sadly, it's kind of all in vain. Another buy comes in for OpTic. He's at least got a UMP to work with in this round, though. Maybe he can make some money with that.
OpTic have 2 UMPs for themselves, a whole lot of rifles, and a whole lot of love. Now, Renegades, if I'm honest, they have the 3 CZ, so it's like a card game these days. Depending on your CZs, it's probably, you know, your kind of like, I guess your trump card. They have 3 of them, so I mean, they shouldn't lose this. I don't know if it's the same in NA as we've been seeing in EU, where it's like CZs will literally just win you rounds, and it upsets all of us. Gade forgetting which smoke goes to jungle, or which lineup. He's got it though, he's ready. So it'll be Gade and Stan to kind of set this into play. 2 smokes only, so probably stairs and jungle and face CT. Super Danish. And that's pretty much it. Shaz is going to be the one to go in. It's not a bad plan at all. Cut the sight off. There is a player by stairs who's quite close by. That is Jacob. He's not going to be surprised by this. This is a very European match, considering the smoke actually to... Oh, it's actually not the smoke I was thinking of. So it goes there, but it doesn't quite cover it. It leaves a gap for the CTs to almost see, but... All that aside, it looks like a save coming up from Renegades. They're going to back off with this. They have armor. They have some upgraded pistols. Nifty has nothing apart from the USPS, obviously, because he'll be considering an AWP soon. So really, he's not at a loss if he can get anything out of this. It's a benefit. But for OpTic, excellent round in the aspect of it being clean, a bomb plant, not losing out on players. That's what you want to be seeing from them, building up funds in the correct way. So good round for them. Renegades having to bow out because you're not going to play retake with 1 flash.
Yeah, and no kit either. I mean, there was... Now, you know, in kind of the past, whenever we've seen OpTic play, they've headed into a lot of these games feeling very, very confident. And one thing that Jason is very adamant on is that kind of whenever EU players move over to NA, they just think, you know, on raw skill alone, they'll just be able to kind of, you know, ruin the NA teams. And,
how do they feel about Australians, though?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they feel about Aussies. We'll have to ask. I mean, I don't know who'd be the best to say. Maybe Pimp can explain how the Danes feel about the Australians. I mean, he's got very strong opinions, this Pimp. He's kind of savage to everyone. Like, he's a cannibal. He'll eat his own kind. He'll eat...
What do you mean? He's chill.
No, well, you think that, right? He's got like a very nice, you know, innocent face, a very soft voice. He's well spoken, but my God, he will stab you in the back. And
I'm not buying this. I think you set him up for a fall. And the same can be said with you still in Nifty and towards underpass. They get that first one, they're starting to feel good. Like, oh, we've taken down config. Nice, nice. It's like, oh no, there's more here. Great. No, I'm not having that about Pimp. No, not having it. Not having it. He's a sweet, sweet, kind boy. Don't you dare be mean. From my perspective here, you're being a bully. All right, Semhar's being lined up. Yep. I'm gonna have to speak to HR.
This is like...
Gonna get HR on the phone right now.
This is like, I've been proper inverted. This is like this is the ultimate long game from Pimp, you know. It's
nah,
like,
not having it. Not having it.
Just you wait. Just you listen. Just you listen to some of these death segments, Lauren. You'll hear how savage he is. Cadian even had to tweet him and tell him to calm it down the other day.
Yeah, but
you know.
Casper will love a bit of Twitter. Any chance, he's right on Twitter, having a right little like, you're so mean, you know? Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, no. Here is a 10th round for OpTic. They're going to be feeling good. They keep 4 players alive. Config the only one to go down there. There's more money made. The buy comes in the next for Renegades. And they're going to be happy if they can get Azure away with this AK. Now, they are being hunted over towards the top mid. JKS actually able to find Gade in that engagement. Didn't even register that he got the kill, I'll be honest. That was so fast. The CZ is just merciless. And they're going to start to continue to creep his way. Stan hoping maybe he finds a low HP JKS, but it will not. Won't be found, rather. 10-8, OpTic Gaming in the lead, but now the buy comes in at 4 Renegades. Now, as a holding the AK-4, definitely going to come in handy. Along with the UMP, I believe you still carried forward, although maybe not. That's going to allow them to have a pretty decent buy, all things considered, because usually we kind of see them headed to this 4th round with very limited utility, and that's not the case. Now, Nifty battening down the hatches over a mid. Going to get forced out by that smoke. Shazam peeking down the short angle. Jacob and Nifty now rerouting over into connector. They're going to look to try and keep an eye on mid. Config does come peeking out from lower tunnels. Jacob just going to go walking in to the bullets. Embraces death. And that's the man advantage taken early on for OpTic.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Nifty could kind of nullify this if you can get one back really nice and quickly, but no one's really offering much up. You've got 2 players working towards connector, but Whether or not they do much with it, they're going to play through eventually, but you see Yostillo maybe be a good factor towards that. You've still got Azza towards it too. The boost comes in. This is fun now. Actually, Config's going to get up there. Yostillo does find Stan. That's the impact I was considering, but it is this 4v4 now. And Config making it very uncomfortable for Azza. Awkward for Nifty. As soon as they start pressuring A, you're going to see Config starting to kind of wind up. Nifty finding Gade, that denies the pass play. Azza very well aware though, that's really good from Azza. Nice response from Shaz, but he's in a very, very tough situation now. They could get a plant, but it can't be for middle too safely because there's going to be Yostillo there in the off angle. And they don't have any utility left, so KGB and Shazam are going to have to do something very, very uncomfortable. So they're going to have to make a bit of a play somewhere in this map. They can't have a 2v3. They have to try and alleviate that pressure somewhere. And now the retake begins. That's KGB. 2 big kills coming in off of CT. I don't know how JKS and Azza didn't find one of them then.
Yeah, now it's just Yostillo left. I mean, he was the star in the pistol round, but this time he will be silenced by Shazam. And as you call him Shaz, it makes me even more. I always accidentally say Shazam for some reason.
No, I'm not that mentally deranged.
Yeah, no, I know, but hearing the Shaz call makes me, almost say it that much more.
I think it's because I remember hearing Sean Gers say Shaz, and I remember speaking to him and saying Shaz. So.
And now it's stuck.
Look, if he's got a problem, fight me. It's fine. You just try to start like Twitter drama. That's all you're here for. I've noticed it now. I get it. You're like, I'll wind him up. I'll be nice to Config, but then throw everyone else under the bus. I get it now. I get it, Harry.
Of course.
I see it.
That's
I'm gonna start calling you Hugo just to start some more drama. There you go. Like, who's this British caster? Hello.
That's a low blow.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Come in with the flame.
Well, that's it's fine by me.
Your feelings hurt though, aren't they?
They are.
You sound a little
Yeah,
gutted.
no, I mean, yeah.
There's like a little bit of like, ooh, she's been real mean here.
You've dug the claws in. and they've gone deep. But here's, maybe I'm not going to say that sentence. It probably wouldn't have worked out right. But here's Azza over in mid. He's just kind of chilling. And there are players slowly but surely seeping over towards A. Although Occasion B and Stan, they're about to get a lot of information as to the fact that there is no one in B. And OpTic, they're going to be very, very happy with that. They're just going to probably rotate the bomb away, play things safe. And Yostillo is going to emerge from short. The CZ's still up. It might be a 3-on-5, but I'm always hopeful in these sort of scenarios. Yeah, I kind of get disappointed a lot as a result from it, but you never know.
I've just realized on Facebook, because I have just opened up the stream to watch. I really like the smiley face, like, love heart one that you can put in there.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm a big fan of that. If you guys haven't muted the stream yet,
Get a spam of them going.
love
Let's
heart
go.
eye face. That thing, I don't know why it makes me so happy. Big fan. Big fan. Anyway, into this one. We've seen the replay coming back in. So, Gade here, just kind of clean house. That, to be fair, that round was not necessarily a throwaway. I think that's the wrong way to put it, but it wasn't the buy round. This is, again, the chance now for Renegades to break back in. You've got for the double AWP, so it's a big investment. Yostillo and Nifty need to get things going quite early. KGB not hitting the opener, but that's not the end of the world. They've kind of forced them off the angle. Smoke's going up. We need to see that CT side kind of lock this down a little bit. Slow down that pace. Start dominating it themselves because at the moment, OpTic have been having their way with them. So I want to see Renegades fight back here.
Yeah, I am a big fan of the boys, and I was hoping to see a little bit more from them. This is their shot. They've brought up double AWP set up in play. It's that you still had to pick up the other AWP. Not normally the man that kind of springs to mind to do it, but he's going to try and find some success with it. And oh no, what's going on here? This is KGB CSGO 3 times in a row. Finally is able to find it. Jacob and Nifty in the meantime trying to do what they can to claw this round back. And JKS now raiding out from Ticket. Wants to try and still a bit of OpTic in this round. Shazam with the AK. 1 versus 3. The bomb's been dropped, but he's got plenty of time left to play with. Ooh, that was pretty brutal. Nifty just going to tag him in through the box. That's not what you would have liked. It was looking like there was a chance, but 24 HP and a dream. It's Shazam. And a biblical 1 versus 3 here would be needed to win this round for OpTic. He's going to be going in with the peek. Okay, Shazam now, maybe. But no, Nifty going to go ahead and snuff out any hope of a clutch in that round, and that will be Renegades in with their 9th. Are they doing it? Oh, we got it.
Do you know what, chat? I'm proud of you. So, Lloyd and Giuliano, you're the first two. Appreciate you, boys. Appreciate you. Thank you for keeping me entertained. But also, speaking of entertainment, Shazam then, what a sick moment that almost was. Because he killed the player that wasn't even tagged up in that situation. I was like, but this is just
look at that.
Isn't it? It's cool hitboxes. You know he's tilted off that too. You know that is just like, all right, screw it, what can I do? But that's the window for Renegades. That's what they wanted. That's it. That's given them a bit of a chance here, finally, because they were kind of struggling. They weren't making it stick. You know, obviously OpTic had that initial run of things. It was going well for them money-wise, but they've done well here. So all said and done, that's exactly what you want to be seeing. That kind of plays well to the narrative of us having actually a good game. Like, I mean, a close game. And that's exactly what we're here for. So, overall, this means you're probably going to see a bit of a default towards A. You see a double up into practice that's still going to be there, especially if you're playing against Renegades. You're going to go for an A hit or an all-in B hit, try and negate one of the two orbs, and that's what they're going to do here. However, Jacob's in a fun position.
Yeah, he is in a fun position indeed. He has that bomb go down. They've cleared it, and actually KGB, okay, he's very, very weary of that man in the sight. Man, if I take it for OpTic, the bomb down, acting almost like that sixth man here is Renegades. The pressure's very much on, and you still hadn't even committed to this rotation. He is going to start to seep round, but you're kind of hoping they find something soon. And if they don't, I mean, we could even see the four-man save come out. And yeah, there you go. The call's going to come on in. OpTic, they'll be very happy with that. Keep building up money here on the T side and secure themselves a third. Pretty need to keep all four of these rifles up. And that's not what you wanted. JKS goes down right at the very end. You know, 3 isn't too bad. The double AWP saved 1 rifle as well. They can get Famises. Azza can drop one over. JKS will just have to, well, I mean, or Jake, whoever. We'll probably have to take a hit and just go for a UMP. But yeah, the pause called in for Renegades. That's become a bit tricky now because the buy is not as great.
Okay. So how have you been liking Copenhagen?
I've been enjoying it, you know. I mean, enjoying it as much as I could, like only seeing
your
it between
schedule's pretty rough,
yeah.
right? So if you guys are wondering at home and you're just kind of like tuning in, this is broadcasted in Europe, but for NA schedule, right? So your timing is a bit off, so it's kind of hard to enjoy.
But you know what was really interesting? When the air raid sirens were going on.
That terrified me.
Oh yeah,
I was awake at 4 AM.
Well, we were
outside.
walking back, and then suddenly we just heard like the sirens start blaring, and I was like, great.
Here comes death.
Yeah.
It's time.
I always knew I would die in Copenhagen. I just didn't imagine it being so soon.
Yeah, I tweeted out because I recorded the video because I went outside for a bit of fresh air. It was like 4 AM, I was tired. Quick look outside. I'm like, is that like a police car in a foreign country? Sirens. Like, is that it?
Just a really loud police car.
Yeah, it sounded like, you know, Silent Hill. I was like, all right, Pyramid Head's going to come and take my life.
That was actually how I got the answer as to what it was.
Tweet.
So
I was like, oh, there's a fire down by the docks. You're not going to die to the zombie apocalypse.
But yeah, supposedly it was like toxic fire.
Yeah, exactly. Not great. But that was very good. Nifty with a good strike towards Gade, towards middle. But Starsaw snuck his way forward. No, Nifty does not let that slip. That is such a big round from him. Complete shutdown, really good control towards middle. Nifty gets so much attention these days, and you can see why. The guy is very, very talented and config now in the 1v5. We've seen Simple do this earlier, if you're watching in Europe, doing just crazy things as a solo player, but you know what? He's flashed to B, there's 4 players here, the 5th is about to put a dagger in the back. I just don't see it working out for Config.
Yeah, he's a man of many talents, and right now he'd have to be an utter magician. And I guess in a way he is, because he disappears, as Ustilo is able to 10 to 13, and a buy comes in for OpTic. They've still got plenty of money. Now, I kind of forgot where I was going with that point, so, you know, just going to
That's right, I got distracted by seeing release notes for the Negev. So, I mean, please don't push us to live.
Negev fan.
Adjustments to the Negev, improved accuracy while firing in bursts, slightly reduced time until significant accuracy recovery, lowered to 1.7.
Great. Sooner would just be 900 and bought in the pistol.
Movement speed is slightly reduced while firing. Anyway.
Yeah, look at this.
Back to topic. Look at that Molotov and damage coming through. Nifty setting him on fire. They're all burning alive. Stan feeling that one. Gade's made his way over, but by this point they're losing out towards the B apartments, which is the bigger problem. Great shot from Ustilo towards short as well. This cuts off the hit at the knees. There's no way it works out now.
Yeah, Config and Gade left, and ooh, Ustilo. What was that? Did he take the peek or did he jump? I hope we get the replay of that, because if that was like a filthy jump shot from Ustilo, that's fantastic. I said he's probably one of the more inconsistent players in this Renegades lineup, and I still stand by that, but I do think when he's on form, he is utterly fantastic. And there's the 4K at the very end. Renegades in with their 11th round. They'll be feeling good, and you still get some much-needed confidence boost. I say much-needed. It's just he's such an explosive player when he is feeling it. So let's wait and see. Okay, took the
Up
peak,
on the
but
barrel.
still, it was nice. It was nice and
Nice and spicy. Like the
nice and
crisps.
spicy indeed.
Do you know what
Actually-
does make me worry, though?
Go on.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong, production, I'm sure you'll be sweating over this one, but updates to the Negev are now out of the beta branch and into
Oh,
public.
no.
So does that mean we're going to have updates?
Yeah, and that
So,
what?
I
yeah.
mean, we can do a podcast of Lauren's madness kicking into place, right? And you can join in when it starts getting a bit late, because you've probably slept less than I have. I mean, we'll see how we go here, but you can see my descent to madness in real time. We'll put like a time lapse over it. We can make it a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure production will be on that after this game, and you know, obviously, the ECA guys, as this is all going to be on the client, will have to deal with that. But I don't know if it's actually going to push live right now, but I'm sure we'll find out. As Shazam shakes his mouse, representing how I feel about that. Things are about to get a little bit strange. It is after midnight, and I have been fed, so like the Gremlins, it all goes a little bit wrong. But OpTic are still in the lead, 13-11 if you're just tuning in. But the Renegades are really fighting back here. That double AWP's been doing really, really well. So I'm hoping we see more of that.
Yeah, and you know, sticking with a Gremlins theme, what gizmos and gadgets have they got to pull out the bag?
Stop it. Get
Config,
help.
he's already got up through mid. I'm not even going to give you time to just, you know, wreck me there. He's going to go straight through the smoke. And actually, Renegades, they're not ready for this whatsoever. Nifty's just pulled off the angle. And now Config goes peeking in. Jacob's going to get found, although Nifty and JKS very, very quick to snap back. And just like that, man advantage reclaimed, although Nifty's now been separated. It all falls onto JKS, and he's got such a tall order to try and fulfill. Does find one. He's bought precious time. Actually, Nifty to get in. Shazam and Gade, 2-on-2. They have pulled this back and made it look deadly. They're going to go ahead and get the bomb down. It now falls on you. Still a Nifty double AWP. Yeah, it's not what you want in the retake.
No, but it's got to happen quickly, right? You need to get one of these two players, although the trades are just almost too tricky. Nifty working his way up. They do have like decent utility in the fact of 2 smokes and a flash, so they can smoke off ramp or take a fight on it, depending on what you want. But these positions are going to be very tough to dig them out of. I think Nifty's just seen a glimpse of him, trying to get the shot through. You can wallbang that. Going in on the fight. Let's see what you got, Nifty. Great shot on Gade, and you still does find the rifle, so perfect. Diffuse comes in as well. They've got the kits, so very nicely done. You've got to love seeing that if you're a Renegades fan. But they need to keep stringing this together. The money can be incredibly punishing on that CT side.
Yeah, definitely, Cal. They kind of get a bit of a breather here. OpTic, they can buy on 3 players. So they might actually go for it. But no, it's going to be a partial buy down to 2,000. Which does make sense. They can get a buy up in the next round. It means Renegades, you know, could find a 13th rather here and equalize things out. Jacob and JKS going to go peeking in it to middle. I haven't spotted anything just yet, but there is Stan and Shazam over in the top of mid. Cage and B wrapping in through lower tunnels. OpTic, they've already gotten all the control they could want over here in middle. JKS is going to challenge, though, that man down in lower tunnels. But just as I say, he's actually going to start to retreat off the angle. Smoke down towards connector once again. The bomb since has fallen back over towards ramp. 3 players there, 2 in mid, looking to try and either cut off the rotations or just go running up into connector. And you imagine, seeing as they've only got pistols, it will be the latter. They just go creeping on it down. Already a rotation coming out from Ustillo. He falls back in his shop, so he's going to be there to support JKS in window that much faster. Smoke's now being lined up by OpTic, and they're ready to go for this play. And Stan, first man in, first man down as well. Jacob continues to wreak havoc here. Over by connector, Nifty going to rain out some death. And actually, Jacob will fall, but here's JKS to go ahead and remedy that very, very quickly. It's all on Shazam. JKS is a ruthless god. 13-13. But a buy on the cards now for OpTic once again.
Do you know what we don't need? Bonus rounds. I like a good game, alright? I'm a big fan of a good game of CS. Don't you start messing around with OT. We're not here for that. Let's see what the purchase is like. Decent on either side, really. This is the big one. And it looks like, I feel as though there's going to be a quick hit coming out from OpTic if they wait out those Molotovs, but it looks like they just want to go at this point. Got the smoke being lined up. There was Shaz. Let's see what the go time is, what the 37, apparently. And the smokes go up, yeah. So it's an all-in A hit, pretty much, at this point. No one even in the middle. They're going to have to just brave through this, so curious how they're going to breach. Good flash, late flash pushes them off the angle. JKS a little late on hitting out there, but him and Azza really control it well in the end. Good shutdown. Renegades keeping 3 alive as well. Double AWP still up. This puts them in a very good position, 14 to 13. And the money gets in that really weird spot for OpTic. They're at, what, 3.5? 4K on Cajun. Gets a little tricky here, because you don't want to be going into those, what could be last couple of rounds with a shoddy purchase. So they're going to go for the CZs. No huge investment, but, you know, a bit of utility, a bit of Molotovs. It could be a B split, or going through underpass and work it out from there.
Yeah, they've gone ahead and sent 4 of the players over here toward B, standing the top of mid, just to make some noise. He still is peeking into apartments. He's been very, very good here with this AWP. They are going to be tested now, and as is Ustillo. A target-rich environment as they go ahead and smoke him off. Actually, he's not going to be wise to this play. Responds with an incendiary, and that's delayed this push. Already a rotation's come out from Nifty. There's 2 AWPs inside of this B bomb site, and that's going to be a bit of a slaughter for OpTic to have to get through. They look to run the gauntlet, and Ustillo holding down the angle, and now Nifty chimes in with the other left hook, right hook. Ustillo and Nifty, they dismember this push, and OpTic torn limb from limb. It all falls onto Gade. And there's Ustillo to put the final nail in the coffin. 15 to 13. Buy comes in for OpTic, but it is their last chance here. And this was like to a T exactly how Renegades would have wanted this to go down. Look, just back and forth. That was great. Ustillo and Nifty showing that they have some impeccable synergy.
Here we go. Molotovs go in. Smokes go up. This is the big round for Renegades. Close it out now. You open up that window of opportunity. OpTic don't have huge amounts of utility to play with, but they do have the skill, and Shazam connects towards Nifty. Big start here. That mid control now is completely theirs. That's going to put everyone else on Renegades on notice, but you can see the response in the aspect of going for ramp control. Going to go for the aggression down there, and it works well. Azza waiting for that boost that we know Config likes to do, and he's up and over again. And Azza, even though he thought it might be a possibility, can't control it. This now bodes terribly for the players towards A.
Yeah, I mean, Ustillo's going to be feeling pressure as well. Jacob actually going to get caught off guard by the low HP Config down in CT spawn. There you go, just kind of going to readjust my mic. That's all good. And JKS doesn't stand the test of time. It all falls on Ustillo, and actually he's looked so good in these last few rounds.
He's got money, go for it.
Yeah, he's going to try and go for this. Anything he can take out of the hands of OpTic is massive as well. So he's going to start to creep on in. 1 versus 3. A man who had a very, very shaky start here for Renegades in this match. Now going to try and pull off a monumental clutch. And, you know, you kind of imagine there's no way in this for him. Shazam going to leg him down low, and now the peak comes out from the site. Cajun B takes the fight and wins that out. 14 to 15. Potential for overtime, Lauren, in the first map of the night.
Excellent. OT fans around the world are going crazy. All right, let's see what we got. This is the big one. Both teams on the big buy. Is it OT or is it Renegades? This one got started off with that first kill going their way. That is huge here. Nifty, are you up to the fight? Smoke goes up towards middle. And Nifty watches the edge of the smoke. Very similar to what we saw from Shazam, almost identical in angle. Gade, this time working through apartments in Palace or towards A. Underpass being tended with. You can see that it's very, very tentative here for both teams. Caution being certainly exuded. Plenty of Molotovs left with OpTic as well. This hit could be quite a spicy one. Boost probably going to come in as well. Prop them up, have a little look. And bomb to be recovered soon enough. But they have mid control. Now Jacob's making a late play towards Connector. He gets tagged up possibly by a nade. We'll see what they can see. That's a nice little angle. Stan's going to find Nifty there. That's a big bit of impact. This is looking like OT might be on the cards. As already we're seeing problems towards A in the fact of Gabe. But Jacob gets 1, trades back in. Still very favorable to the T side. The difference maker might be JKS. As the last time lost out to Config in this spot, but let's see where they take this OpTic Gaming. They still have middle control. They still have Shazam up with the AWP. And they have everything they need. So Molotov's in towards Tribox. That doesn't quite go right, but Az is going to probably be flashed out, mollied out. Gade's got the molly in hand. Smoke goes up. He's been given a bit to work with. That's a mistake, but they're still alive. It's not the end of the world. The kind of, I guess the card that they're keeping close to the chest is still going to be JKS. They're going to leave Justillo to do what he can here. Play back in. Bomb is planted, of course. Justillo watches the cross. He gets Cajun B. Now what more can they do? It's a 3v3. You're going to hear the calls being made. Config found Azza in the meantime. We need JKS to go big in this one. That kind of diamond in the rough we've all been waiting on finally strikes towards Gade, and now 2v2, but this is tough. Justillo's under pressure, and JKS can't do it. It's down to the 1v1. Shazam, where is he? He's in middle. He's been waiting the whole time. Justillo has one flash, one hope to do this. Oh, that is so close! He gets the tag, but not the frag. The time is ticking, and Shaz is just crouching down, biding time. He gets the shot through. We're going OT because there is no God.
You love to see that. Fantastic stuff from Shazam down there in mid to keep his cool in that 1v1. The second he gets tagged low, you know, the pressure is definitely on. You know, I mean, yeah, overtime fans around the world rejoice. This first match is not done just yet. Both teams playing their absolute hearts out. And, well, I mean, you know, we saw a good recovery there from OpTic towards the end. Of course, they had to go on, I believe it was, what, a 3-round win streak? Or I don't know, maybe not. No, they get broken up. What am I on about? It's already, it's already all gone downhill. But, yeah, very much excited. Very much excited to see how this one pans out. You know, taking a look at the leaderboard, we got Config up at the top still, 104 ADR. He's feeling good, 27 and 27. What a KD that is. And, you know, for Renegades, nifty top of the board, 29 to 15, 85 ADR. He's feeling good. Him and Justillo, both of them, they've been on the AWPs, and they've been really feeling it. And I'm happy to see, you know, Justillo coming out of his shell here and looking good.
All right, just waiting on OT to kick off, pretty much. Not much more to be said about that. We've got Jason supporting from, I think he's in a spa right now. Just kicking back, watching the game, got it propped up on his phone. That's Moses, checking in, saying that he's giving me his energy. That's great. That's useful. I can use energy to pay my bills and keep me sane. It's good. It's good. It's good. 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 15-15, as said. Config doing nice damage in that game. I still like watching Config. I think he's great. As an exciting player to watch, but still, what a recovery from Renegades and OpTic. Very back and forth game. I think this is very, very exciting to actually get to see. It's not, you know, the cleanest of Counter-Strike. There's been a couple of mistakes, but also a lot of individual, like, really interesting, like, plays coming out. So that's fun. Hopefully this will kick off soon. JKS, ADR. He's a kill stealer. Is what he is. I am kidding. He's 21-17 with 69, and then you look on the other side for Config, 27 kills with 104. So Config doing some heavy lifting.
Yeah, he definitely is. You know, not really anyone else kind of stepping up to the same level he's showing right now. Although we've seen a few good rounds from Cajun B, and you know, on top of that, I do think Gade is kind of like a bit of a hidden gem within this roster. You know, he was formerly on North Academy, and there were a few times in his career where he was going to get moved onto that main North roster, kind of the most high profile being that final one before he joined OpTic, of course. And you know, he's looked good. I mean, not really kind of living up to the hype I just built around him in necessarily so much in this matchup right now, but I'm excited to see him finally get like a chance to kind of show off on LAN at some point in the future. And I think, you know, with this roster, he's going to get that opportunity, because, you know, while North Academy, they were good, they never really had a chance to compete versus any high tier opposition on LAN. I think, you know, the best thing we really saw that maybe was like Copenhagen Games or something along those lines, which, you know,
Love a good Copenhagen Games. I was tempted to stay out for it, but I also really want to go home. Been here for 2 weeks now. I want to sleep in my own bed, play some games that are not on a laptop. Would feel great. 144 hertz. I've missed it. You know.
Yeah, you know, I have to agree. I got well, I mean, I already have that on my laptop, but
how much did you pay for that?
just like, I don't even want to go into it. You know,
Too much.
It's
Too
all
much.
a tax write-off, Lauren. That's what you got to realize. You know, I'm playing the long game. And speaking of the long game, Nifty's a fan of
Burning alive?
Yeah, just burning to death. You know, not
Big
even
fan.
not even
Big
trying to
fan.
incorporate that into the meme. He's tacked down of 11 HP very early on. And he's forced out of mid, and he's now going to have to play very conservatively. Not really the style he's been playing so much. Az is over here on short, and oh my gosh, so many players come his way. He's not ready for that, and so much damage done. Look at all the red. They've all been tagged down low, but Ustilo's going to fall inside of B, and just like that, the site has been given up. Nifty, the only man nearby to hear the call to arms, and he's going to start to fade away. Perhaps if they knew how much damage that they've done, we might see them look a bit more keen to go for this. KGB is going to get found. Now they kind of are toying with the idea, but they've taken a lot of time just debating whether or not to go for this. And if they don't find something soon, you imagine. Okay, Jacob in with one onto Stan. Shazam's going to answer back, and Config goes aggressive. Of course he does, despite being 19 HP. He's going to get caught off guard, though. Shazam still locking down the fort in from apartments. There's no time left. JKS are charging in. Falls at the hand of Gage. Just like that, OpTic, they've won out the first round of OT.
I heard Drake's a big fan of OT. Loves gaming. Big fan of that.
Yeah, I've just seen Halvor is very hyped around this one.
Yeah, what's he saying?
Well, like he was very hyped to the point where there was a lot of profanity used. You know,
you don't want to say it on air.
No, it doesn't feel suitable for the old broadcast.
Gotcha, gotcha. Fair enough. Big exchanges to begin with. Hopefully, Halvor can contain himself. On the verge of tears, I've heard. He's murmuring in the corner. However, Nifty keeping eyes on this, but the smoke's gone up. He can just see a little over that. He gives away the game. Maybe an accidental mouse wheel ordeal going on there. But no matter what happens, OpTic have picked it up. I don't know where this sort of performance has come from. Clearly, they've, you know, had a bit of a kick in the right direction. They've started to really build into this matchup as they are in a 4v2 off-spawn situation. And OT is just looking good for them right now. Spray comes in from Azza. He takes down Config, but around the world goes Shazam again in this position. This time it's Azza there, but Shaz will close down the round regardless. And it's OpTic again. Put another one on the board. They are looking very good on this T side here.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I mean, you know, if they manage to pull this off and go flawless, then it's looking ridiculously good for them. And I think, you know, that's quite a bitter pill to swallow for Renegades. You know, they're kind of coming into this. They found a decent success, and they are the more, you know, long-standing roster, I guess you'd say, out of the two of them. Nifty's going to try his hand at aggression. Oh, that's nice, Gade. Does take one to the chest. Missed shots from Config gives Nifty some time to readjust, but he's not so lucky the second time around. And actually, everyone else from Renegades, they've been locked out of this bomb site just like that. The bomb's going to go down for OpTic. 4-on-4 in the retake. You still have yet to rotate on in. And this is a very tricky situation to be in.
It is. Absolutely. But here we go. Let's see how this one goes. Nice high flash. Plays in two players. Forces Config off the angle. Gets Azza to claim the kill. Putting KGB on notice now. Players time pouring in through stairs as well. Should I say it's just Jacob, but he's actually catching team flashes here, which isn't ideal. And everyone else is stuck towards ramp, but Shazam still finds JKS. KGB trying not to blink. If he does, he might miss it. And now there we go. Here becomes the issues. But burning alive and taking a lot of damage is the Renegade side. And even though it looked like both teams won around there, that's not the case at all. It was OpTic with the clean run. You loving it? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, imagine we got McDonald's breakfast. Or any other brand of breakfast, but mostly that one.
That was a really smooth recovery. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no.
What's your go-to order?
See, I mean, anything that's got like a hash brown in it is a pretty safe
Germany doesn't have hash browns. Can anyone who's Danish please confirm if McDonald's breakfast in this country contain hash browns? If not, we're going to
What sort of country doesn't have a hash brown on the menu? How
the
have
first
you
time I
lived
moved
there?
to Germany, I moved to Cologne for my job. Lovely, great opportunity. Bit hungover one morning, I'm like, you know what? It's time to treat myself. You get your orange juice, you get your sausage and egg McMuffin, you're having a great time, you're like, and a hash brown. They go, was? Nine. Hash brown, no, didn't happen. Very, very upset. So, you know, treasure your hash browns.
Yeah, I'd be triggered. I'd be livid.
I'm gutted. Anyway,
well, yeah,
we'll have to get to topic, as we can talk about that probably in the next OT, because
Yeah.
we're going to see everything from Renegade. See, Nifty already off to a bang, and Gabe playing the Goblin corner in the Goblin boxes, according to Chad. Not what we call them here, but I'll go for that. It's a cheeky little one, but it is a 3v3 retake. Nice little plant comes in. Good A take coming out from the Renegades boys. This is nice.
Yeah, very much is. OpTic, they've got Config, though, wrapping around behind. Of course they do. If there was a man to find in the back line, you would always expect it to be him.
Really?
And yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm just going to stay with it. You know, he's very much the linchpin in the show and the one that can make all the difference. Oh, KJB. Oh, this is awkward. He goes back for the shot and actually gets burnt to death in the molly. That is, oh, this is, of course, the big freeze of 18. You know, Ice Age 4, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Rush, producer Rush, do you remember you're like, you know what, it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. There'll be no issues. He's lied to me, ladies and gentlemen. He has lied profusely. What there is issues. What this means, I need to stand up. That, whoa, tricky. All right, ladies and gents, it's getting a little real here. It's very late at night for me. It's currently 1:20 in the morning. What I didn't want was this.
Yeah, no, this is kind
You just look like you're mad close to me on this shot. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
You're just like, Harry, there's all of that desk.
I know, yeah. There is actually a very... I mean, I would walk over, but I'm like kind of tethered to within about 4
Yeah,
inches.
you've got a
of
lot
this
going
stuff.
on there. But yeah, all in all, it was the first round of OT in the second half. I mean,
Yeah, no, you love to see it.
you love to see it. We can
I
go back
mean-
to the hash brown topic if you want.
Yeah, no, let's do that. That sounds like a good...
Have you tried American hash browns?
I haven't. But when I was in America, I kind of like... I tried, what is it, like... What's that Chinese thing that everyone, like the Chinese
Panda
place?
Express?
Yeah, I had that. That was good. Everyone goes on about orange chicken from there. That was great.
Pretty good, yeah.
I
But
feel
you
like
didn't-
it's like
go
bring
to
your
like a
child to
Denny's or
work
something.
day.
Like, you gotta try the hash browns because they're like, I don't know how to describe it, but big fan. We are just
fan
hopefully
of
waiting
hash
on the
brown.
servers to get fixed up. We have no information as to what happened. I guess servers having a couple of issues because I can imagine the update being pushed.
Yeah, I imagine.
I can imagine that might be it. I don't know. Hopefully we get like a bit of information for you guys so you guys can keep up to speed. But you know what else could happen? Get those old analysis boys back in if it's a real problem. Get them working.
Yeah, no, they do love a bit of the old work, especially Halvor and Pimp. I think they've done the long stretch with you.
Yeah,
right?
they've been. I've dragged them into the circles of hell with me. I'm not going alone.
Kicking
I'm
and screaming.
Dante right now. I'm just dragging them through. But
Right, so
OpTic won. Is that?
and just like that, there you go. Sure, why not?
Oh, do we get a replay? I get.
No, that is just we just take that at face value. How in a damn minute? Do some investigation.
Okay, apparently we're just going to have a quick look at this. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll give you some more information after that. But have a little watch back, get yourself back up to date, because this game was back and forth the entire way. But when we're back, we'll break down what's been occurring.
Incendiary out.